Hello and welcome to Dee Dee Blooms. Today is July 30th and it is a smoking hot 92 degrees on my patio. This is in the shade and the humidity is 46%. It's even more humid than, I swear, 46% because I was watering earlier and the humidity is drenching right now. I thought I'd quick do an update on all of my Catasetums and Catasetum types real quick while I was out here. And I mean real quick because I am going to melt to death. So I guess I'll start with this one. This is my Cycnodes Wine Delight. I've had this one for a year and a half. It came to me with this pseudobulb, and then it finished maturing this pseudobulb. It was mostly grown by the time I received it, and I think in the fall, if I remember correctly, that's when the flower spike started to emerge. So this one bloomed beautifully. I posted a bloom video on my channel, so if you want to go check out last year's bloom. And so now this is the new growth, and I'm very happy with it. It's really been maturing well. I repotted it up into this pot. I've got some packing peanuts at the bottom, and the roots have really taken off this year. So I'm really happy with how it's doing. And then this one I repotted up. It's my, let's see, Cycnoches versus Cycnodes. This is my Cycnoches Mass Confusion. I think we'll see if it blooms for me because this tag was right behind it. So I'm really not sure what's going to happen here, or I guess this is the same thing. Mass Confusion is the Clowesia Giant Swan crossed with Warsaw Witchy. Oh, I see that now. Okay, that makes sense. Well, I got this from Brookside late in the season last year, and it came with just this one pseudobulb, and it started putting out, and I did a video on this one when I did an update on my Catasetums. I thought it was going to bloom for me, but it ended up dying off this little growth right here. So now it's growing this really nice, beautiful new growth. Have had a little munchers on it. I treat it with an organic insecticide, which seems to help keep a lot of things at bay. But I keep a close eye on these guys because they easily get infested. Over here on this central pole, I have hanging a bathroom cubby, just 3 shelves, and I have my Encyclia, or otherwise known as Prosthecia garciana down here. It's working on growths and new buds. And then here we start getting into some of my Catasetum types. This one's been chewed up a bit more, so I'm trying to keep an even closer eye. I've been treating it more often. This is a new one to my collection. I just got it after the season. I think it was late last year, but it was a big enough growth that Sunset Valley Orchids sold it to me. So it's got a couple little pseudobulbs. It's woken up and it's working on this new growth. So I'm excited to see what the blooms look like, and for whatever reason the bugs are liking this one a bit more. Here's one that I already have a flower spike and some buds growing. I've had this one for a while. It's one of the first 5 that I purchased in my collection, in this beautiful growth here. And it's Catasetum Milana Davison Hurrah crossed with Catasetum Karen Armstrong. Very nice. So I'm sure I have previous blooms on this one. the last growing season. So it's doing pretty well, not too much damage from insects. Up here I have with it, oh, sorry, this is a newer one I got from the last Andy's open house, their summer open house in June. And it's an area cepifolia. Can't find much information on it. Likes to stay moist. It's warm, intermediate, cold growing. I'm reading the tag here. It likes bright light. So I'm hoping it roots up pretty good. Sorry, I know this isn't a Catasetum, but I have it in this green moss and bark. And it just was so fun looking. Anyway, up here I have a small $2 Zygopetalum that's working on a new growth. But let's see here. This one is my, Gal Greenwoodiana SVO Purple Lip crossed with Gal Greenwoodiana Purple Lip 2. I posted a bloom video of this last year, and I love the pseudobulbs. They're more fatter, shorter and fatter. So I just fell in love, and I fell in love with the growth pattern. So it's put out this new growth I'm really excited about. And I do this PET method for almost all of my Catasetum types. I didn't do it so much with the Cycnodes and Cycnoches over there. The Cycnodes is potted up in moss and a little bit of bark, and especially bark up top. And the Cycnoches is that mix that I showed you with the packing peanuts at the bottom. This has rock, bark, and then moss. And then as the new growth started, I then covered up the moss with some more bark to keep the algae at bay. I have another flower spike here. This is one of the first 5 I've ever purchased. It's got great roots, even from last year. So I don't know if you could see those roots. There's a nice new root tip inside of the plastic container. This one is my Catasetum Graham Wood, which is Catasetum Extravaganza SVO Spotted Beauty. Couldn't read that. Crossed with Catasetum Dentigrianum SVO Excellent. And Dentigriatum or Tigrinum types that are in the cross keep the Catasetum a smaller type. So it's not, some Catasetums their growths get huge and their leaves are splayed everywhere. I tried to buy smaller varieties. Not all of them are going to stay more compact growing, but I don't have infinite room out here in my patio. So there's 4 of the others and the 5 remaining. So I have the 2 on the table, 4 in that holder. And then here's where I grew all the 5 Catasetums I had at the beginning of last season. All those other ones, or not all of them, several more were new purchases. So I've expanded the collection. But here was the spot for the first 5, and several of the first 5 are mixed in here. So we'll see if we can see things up here. We've got this new growth, got some munchers going on. This is the Orchid Glade crossed with Memorial Raul Mortez something. Right now I can't reach the tag, I'm sorry. Let me see, I think I can reach this one. I have a big Sobralia in my way amongst a mess of pots and stuff. I need to sweep and clean things up. This is my Catasetum Russ Wood, and they're both growing really nice. I'm super happy with how things are progressing. I potted these up. These are 2 original ones. I potted these up last year when the new growth started, and for the most part, they all bloomed for me. I think only 1 out of the 5 didn't. So I'd have to go look at my past videos to check which one that was that hasn't bloomed yet. But so I didn't redo the PET this year. So I'm keeping them in the PET for 2 to 3 years to try to save time instead of repotting every year. I have 451 orchids at this point, and I can't do repots all the time. So where I can minimize it, that's what I need to do. And I really like this PET method because it preserves some of the roots from the previous year's growth. And as you slowly start to water with the new growth roots reaching down into the pot and the new growth growing up, it revives some of those roots. So you have an even stronger plant. So I'm really liking this method my second year into it. So let's see. This next one is, a Clowesia. This is a newer one. Has not bloomed for me yet. I'm really excited. Got the new growth going. Potted up in the PBT method. This is Amazing Grace, which has Grace Dunn live oak crossed with Orchid Glade Davy Ranches. Looking forward to some new looking flowers. One downside to getting everything with tigrinum in them is most of the flowers all look very similar. So if you look back on my blooms from the original 5, you'll find like 3 out of the 5 look very similar. It's kind of funny, but I love them all, so no complaints. This next one is an original 5. Oh, I see another spike right down there. So it came with these growths. It grew this growth for me, and now it's growing this growth, and I already have a spike. These have the capability of blooming like 3 to 4 times in a season, at minimum 2 times. So this one is totally a dentigrianum. So it's got the denticulatum dark spots crossed with tigrinum, very wide petals. This definitely bloomed for me multiple times. Very pretty. And they all smell so good. I highly recommend Catasetums for growers, orchid growers. They make it so easy because in the winter you do nothing for them. Like you get this nice big break. So it's just keeping the pests off of them. I'm sure you could see almost everything has some munching on it, but overall everyone is doing really, really well. So this is my biggest growth so far, and this one the roots were kind of up above, so I put these decorative rocks over the top. It seems to be doing okay. I'm not seeing a spike yet. This is actually my Mormode's Millennium Magic Witchcraft. This one has not bloomed for me yet. I'm hoping this is the year, but I know these can get really big, so it might not. It might take a few more seasons, a few more growths for it to work up the energy it needs to bloom for me. So that is my Catasetum and Catasetum types collection update out here on my patio. So hopefully I didn't make you just dizzy, but hopefully 13 minutes isn't too bad. And I am sweltering, and I will post bloom videos when these beauties start opening up. Very excited. Thanks so much for watching, and hope everyone has a wonderful day.